Looking for ways to save for college? Take a look at UGMAs and UTMas.
Welcome to this episode of Money Talk with John and Lorraine McCoy, your money team, registered representatives and investment advisory representatives with McCoy Wealth Advisors.
In the last episode, we talked about saving for college using the 529 savings plan. Today, we would like to introduce you to two more financial tools: the Uniform Gift to Minors Act, also called an UGMA, and the Uniform Transfer to Minors Act, also called an UTMA.
So what are they? Until a child reaches the age of majority, he or she cannot directly own securities or property. The UGMAs and UTMAs are custodial accounts that allow for the transfer of investments and property to a minor child.
How do UGMAs and UTMAs work? Well, first, an adult who usually becomes a custodian sets up the account in the name of the minor child, who has to be under the age of 18. Second is that once the account is established, then anyone can make irrevocable gifts of cash, securities such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds into the account.
Once transferred, all investments within this custodial account is owned by the child, even though he or she cannot control them. That it is the responsibility, the fiduciary responsibility of the custodian to manage those investments appropriately and to only distribute those funds for the benefit of that minor.
Did you hear the key point, irrevocable gifts? That means that once the gifts are made or contributed into the account, they cannot be taken back or transferred to another beneficiary.
And the other key term for the benefit of the minor, this is not just limited to college expenses or even educational expenses. You can use those funds for a child's summer camp, clothing, a class trip, as long as the money is being used for the benefit of that minor. It can be withdrawn from the UGMA account tax-free.
And what about taxes? Of course, properties and monies contributed into the account are considered principal and are not taxed when withdrawn. However, as the account grows, the unearned income generated in the account is subject to tax. The tax rate will vary, and depending upon the amount of unearned income generated in the account, the tax rate can shift from the child's tax rate to the parent's tax rate.
And be aware that for estate tax purposes, the assets within a custodial account are considered part of the custodian's estate until that child reaches the age of majority.
So finally, a key characteristic to ask yourself for an UTMA or an UGMA account is this. When the child reaches the age of majority, which is 21 or less depending upon the state, the custodial account ends. This means that he or she has total control over the assets in the account.
So the crucial question you want to ask yourself is, am I comfortable and confident that my 18 or 21-year-old young adult will have the maturity to handle those assets responsibly? And the answer to that question can vary from child to child, family to family.
So does these financial tools fit your family's goals? Let us help. We know the questions to ask.
And we welcome your questions. Contact us at McCoyWealthAdvisors.com. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Money Talk with John and Lorraine McCoy. For more information, visit their website at www.McCoyWealthAdvisors.com. Also browse the other shows found right here at Columbus Biz TV Shows.